Hello, my beautiful minions, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I had you guys pick a little challenge for me, which was building with the most expensive items that I could find in The Sims. So let's see how that goes for us, shall we? Alright, so first things first, I've gone ahead and collected pretty much all of the expensive things from every category. So, I've got ovens, fridges, counters, sinks, and you see the rest. And I've gone and added a couple extra things just in case we need them. I grabbed some art pieces that I'd like to try to include because they are the most expensive pieces. I've got some curtains, which aren't actually the most expensive, but the most expensive ones are for a much taller wall height. Well, not much taller, but a taller wall height. So if I do end up using the taller wall height, I'll grab those curtains. But for now, we're using these $600 theatrical curtains. So we'll see how that goes. First I'm gonna work with the outline of the house, I suppose. We'll do floor plan after that and get to decorating. But I'm gonna take a lot of inspiration from Rococo design. I don't know if you've played Animal Crossing, but that's kind of like the really regal and like fancy furniture set. So I'm taking inspiration from that with my building today. Alright, so I looked at a Baroque house instead of a Rococo house because the Rococo houses were very scary. So many intricate window decor that I could not possibly want to replicate in The Sims. But anyways, this is our kind of exterior. I think let me put up wallpaper on this platform. And I think I'm gonna make this bottom floor the medium wall height just because we can use some fancier doors and windows like these standard Vestania belongings. They match our furniture really well. So I think I'm gonna kind of use those. And I want to have the floor plan be really open, but also focused on the bottom floor being about gatherings and the top floor being about living. Because I feel like in a lot of like fancy houses, that's kind of how it is because they host a lot of parties. So the downstairs area is much more focused on partying. So I've also included this little side room just so we have more space to work with. Now I've got to pick some wallpaper and such, so that'll be a while. All right, here is our basic exterior. I've gone through and done these smaller windows upstairs, added a little covered entrance, as well as some minor landscaping. I'm going to do some more landscaping, don't worry. But I just wanted to give you a little update. So I've added this side area. I had to take the roof off because I don't know why this Sims is broken as it always is, but I was basically trying to make this open stair area. So this is the problem I was having, right? And so over here, I had a roof, right? But for some reason now it cuts into the house in the stairway part because I made this part open. So that's that problem. This part I can fix, but that part I couldn't. So I had to get rid of the roof there. But other than that, basically the same. I've added some columns. Obviously, I did some roof patterns and just fixed her up a bit. And I moved all of the items just kind of haphazardly inside where I generally thought that I'd be using them. But I'm still not really sure of the exact floor plans. So they're just kind of chucked around in there. I wanted to be able to move the outside a bit more and be able to do the landscaping. So we had to make some sacrifices. So I'm going to do that and I'll get back to you because landscaping takes me forever. So I'll see you then.
Okay, I think it's time to start working on the interior, so I'm gonna go ahead and just place down some lights everywhere, because gotta see what we're working with in here. So, here we go. I also have to decide where I want to put some bathrooms in. I think I'll have one upstairs and one downstairs. That just makes sense. It's not a huge house. It doesn't really need more than that. So, let's figure it out.
I'm gonna kind of make this pseudo bar where the counters are here and kind of form a fake wall. That way there's gonna be an accessible counter on each side. We're gonna do it like this and put another one on that, like this. And I think it looks pretty fancy. And again, kind of works as a pseudo bar. And we'll put a door into here so just certain people can enter and make the kitchen in here as if it's kind of like a service kitchen where you just hire people to come work it when you have people at your house. Very fancy. All right, here is what I'm thinking for the kitchen slash dining area. It's a little bit cramped, but I'd also like to put some maybe skill things here, also slash entertainment, like maybe a violin. Very fancy, sophisticated, right? I've got to pick some wall colors, so that will take me a while. And then, of course, I'm gonna clutter up this area and make it look nice and not so weirdly just shoved in a corner. So I'll get back to you on that one. All right, let's update you on that kitchen, and I also did a bit to the dining area. I'll probably add a little more details later, but I'll come back to it as I find stuff. So I made a little breakfast bar kind of area here on the pseudo bar that I made. I added some hanging pots, and then you come into the kitchen and you've got some herbs that are drying, a little plant, your trash can, a little coffee and tea area in case people want to order tea in bed. Then you got your spice rack, which by the way is the more expensive spice rack. I am making sure we're using the more expensive items in this, and just a couple of other like kitchen cluttery objects. And then you've got the fine china up on the shelves in here. So yes, you come out into the dining room. Dining table's right here. It's a little cramped, but you know, it's exclusive. We'll call it that. I've got a little entertainment spot slash like pseudo giving a speech spot. You know how like at rich parties they'll be like, I'd like to do a toast. That's where the toast happens, right there, right near the fancy chandelier. I've added actually 3 of them because I think it looks nice with this one in the hallway. I've added a little suit of armor guy. I don't know what exactly I'm doing with him yet, but I want him here. So he's staying. And then I've got one in the living room, which I've kind of started to rearrange. And I've added some art pieces up as well as curtains. So yeah, that's the progress report. I'm making my way. This light is not going to be here, but I need to use this light and I don't want to forget. So I'm keeping it around so that I don't lose it. Now, you may be wondering why I'm moving the windows so much in the living room, and it's because I forgot about a really expensive item that we need to place in this house so that it really follows the rules. Well, made the monolith wall TV. We've got just enough space to fit it in the living room. It's going to be a really immersive movie experience. I mean, I think it's like a little too big for me, but I love the idea of it. Big fan. This most expensive furniture is like so interesting to me because you'll have this swatch. Makes sense, right? Then you hover over it and you're like, what other options do I got? Do I want maybe zebra print? How about bright pink zebra print? I know exactly how many houses I'll use this in. 0! What the fuck, Sims? How about gold zebra print? Or leopard print, really spice it up. Oh, I think that one might be my favorite. Gold tiger print. That one is okay. I'll take that, but you know. Why? Why do we need these swatches? I don't think I'll ever use these, but thanks for the offer, I guess. All right. Here is our finished project. We've got, you know, a pretty basic exterior. I didn't have any really inspiration picture for this one. I just kind of went with a simple shape, a little bit of fun outside stuff. I didn't really go crazy with the porch either. I have a nice little sitting area that I made with a pseudo tree and then a little gardening plot. So it's got like a little garden there, lots of plants. They probably have someone they pay to come take care of them, so that's why everything's so green. Then there's a path that goes off towards the pier. And we'll start on the bottom floor, which you've mostly seen. Just had some finishing touches. I imagine this house is more of like a gathering place. Like these parents probably love throwing fancy parties just to show off their house. I think my favorite area is the kitchen area. I just think it's kind of a unique way of doing the kitchen. But there's a lot of seating spots because, again, I think they'd have people over a lot. Then you've got this massive screen. Maybe one of the parents is like a celebrity and they show their own movies in their house because they're conceited like that. That would make sense to me. I hid a little bathroom under one of the stairs here for the downstairs bathroom. Nothing fancy, just a little cluttery, you know, kind of hard to fit in a four square room. Upstairs, we've got two bedrooms, the parents' room, which is pretty simple, but you know, it's got some fancy stuff in it. Little seating spot. They've got a pretty nice bathroom with this fancy towel rack that I found, and then also this fancy tub that doesn't totally fit the aesthetic, but I imagine that's kind of a thing that would like come with the house. That's like a selling point. They're like, ooh, we want to have the fancy tub. So there's their fancy tub with their ensuite bathroom. This bookcase technically doesn't fit, but it's fine because you can't see it, so don't acknowledge it. And then over here I made kind of like a teen boys room, and I took a little story into initiative here and I made him kind of like an asshole kid whose like parents are rich, so he just takes on a bunch of hobbies that he never actually follows through with. So he's got like this fancy camera in here, and then, you know, his bookcase with things that he probably collected. He's like, ooh, a collector's edition of that book. I'm gonna get it on daddy's credit card. And then a signed hat and some magazines. He's got this fancy guitar, and I picture him as like, I'm gonna make music. I'm gonna be a SoundCloud rapper. So he's got his little SoundCloud rapping station set up and a very fancy guitar that he probably doesn't know how to play, but it's fine because he spent a lot of money on it. And I used the weird mirror from the what's it called, the strawberry kit, you know, the pastel living one, and it doesn't work very well because I hate that The Sims doesn't let you lower your mirrors at all, but it looks cool. And it kind of seems like the thing that a very rich family would buy, even though it's pointless because it doesn't work very well as a mirror, but it looks nice in their house, and that's what matters. And yeah, then he's got a bathroom up here as well. This is obviously like more of a anyone can use it bathroom, but you know, the upstairs is more of the living area, the downstairs is more of the gathering area. So that's how that was arranged. And yeah, I think it's pretty okay. Probably not my favorite build, but working with the most expensive items was a little more difficult than I expected because they're all gold. And there's not a lot of good gold swatches to work with in The Sims. But I hope you enjoyed this build. It was a little different of a format for the video, but I think it's a little more interesting. You get a little more input of me trying to figure out how things will work in this house, and usually you just get me speeding everything up and avoiding the frustrating parts. So with that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, minions, and I will see you again soon.